Iron Man is this incredibly cool, slick, butch film, yet the focus, quite literally throughout, is the heart. How do you find that balance between the emotional depth of your character and this high-pace comic book action hero?
Well, it's something that Jon Favreau and I kept referring back to. I think it's also why Stan Lee said that of all of the Marvel characters, Tony Stark had the most female fan mail. Yeah. There's something to be said about this kind of very internal, emotional metaphor that's going on. That said, it's nice to juxtapose it with all the hardware and the ass kicking.
I'm just not the hero type.
Well, he also has this persona, this incredibly rambunctious, sort of flamboyant public persona, yet in his work he's incredibly dedicated, he's very industrious, and he's actually quite a perfectionist. Is this something that you personally can relate to?
I get it, and the funny thing is some of the people that I met when I was researching for Tony are exactly like that. When they're not working their tuckuses off on the thing that they've become obsessed with, that's their calling, they really just want to have a nice, easy time. You know, the rocket scientists just want to talk about Hollywood.
Yeah, I can fly.
Now, this is a very physical role, and you looked fantastic in it, by the way. What hurt the most?
Oftentimes what hurt the most was trying new movements when I was wearing the practical suit. Because you got to hand it to those guys who made the actual custom-made suits of armor back in the medieval times. It was such a high craftsmanship, and Stan Winston built the pieces in the suit and designed it, and it was amazing, but it was not really meant to be practically used for actual battle things. It couldn't be articulated enough and still stick to the design. So it's kind of like, you know, when you have one of those, like a Gumby doll, and like you can bend the arm up here, and you can do all the stuff with it that you probably wouldn't want to do to a human. I kind of felt like the wire inside the rubber of a Gumby doll.
What's going on here?
Let's face it, this is not the worst thing you've caught me doing.
Have you had a chance to play the video game yet?
I did. I haven't seen it in its finished form, but initially, right when they felt they had enough tech going on with it to give it to me to try, I instantly just handed the controls to my 14-year-old son. And he kind of, you know, looked around. It was like one of those Willy Wonka moments where, you know, Veruca's got the thing in her mouth. She's going to tell you if the new candy's any good. And he kind of looked around and was like, well, and he was like, it's cool. It's cool.
Is that a biggest compliment as you're going to get?
That's definitely top drawer, yeah.
Did he kick your ass playing it?
Yeah, there's no point to even try with him. I last like 11 seconds in Halo. It's just, there's no point.
Tony Stark, now you work for me.
I read that before you started filming Chaplin, you buried your clothes from Less Than Zero to mark that you're moving into a new chapter of your career. What chapter does Iron Man bring? Did you bury your clothes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there's just this kind of end of a very, very, very long and hard-won education. And on the other side of it is kind of the degree. I just feel like I'm, rather than certifiable, I just feel like I'm a certified veteran of making a bunch of different types of movies. And so really at the end of it, it's just, I just feel like I'm a more effective entertainer. Big fan of Spider-Man, but clearly those are adolescent issues. Big fan of Batman, but it's hard for me to relate to someone who has a fetish with a flying marsupial.
Do you like Tony Stark?
Yeah, he's a good dude.
No one's allowed to talk, is that it? You can't talk?
No, you intimidate them.
Good God, you're a woman.